We getting up there, people. We getting up there. We back for another week of Elephant in the Room. This week, I would like to welcome you guys to episode number 15, man. Episode number 15. We getting up there in episodes. Just like I always do, uh, I want to let you guys know that it is greatly appreciated, all the support and input I've been getting, regarding this platform that I'm debuting, that I'm trying out, that I can see myself doing moving forward. Again, man, every DM I got, every phone call I got, even if you see me in person and have any critique, any type of critique or advice you can give me in regards to this show, it is much appreciated. I do not take it for granted, and it do not go unnoticed. Before we get into these topics for this week, just like I always do at this time, man. Gold Tape, man. Gold Tape. I had just gave it a listen in its entirety just yesterday. And, that thing, you know, I'm proud of myself for that. I'm very proud of myself for that piece of work that I was able to put out and display to the world. That is my third solo album. Also, go check out the first two albums. This one's for you, Dad, which will always be a special album because it's my second one, but it's my first grown up album. You know what I mean? Like that. After you kind of got the grasp on life, you kind of able to understand things that's happening to you, for you, against you. You know what I mean? You kind of understand it a little bit. So this one's for you, Dad, and the self-explanatory is for my pops. You know what I mean? Really proud of that. Really proud of that project. Scale Tape. Scale Tape is a representation, as you all know, clothing line that me and my brother Larry Legend is very fortunate to be able to give to you guys. And I'm here to tell you, summertime, we will be coming with a whole new lineup of clothing. We have been, in the realms of just getting things right. A lot has been going on. My brother Larry Legend has relocated to the West Coast out in Arizona. He moved him and his beautiful family out there. You know what I mean? Just, you know, for good reasons, great reasons. You know what I mean? And that is something that my man told me he was gonna do a year or two before he did it, and he went through with that thing. You know what I mean? So love my brother Larry Legend as always. So just getting things right, making sure we getting rid of all the old inventory that we previously had in, but we will be coming with new lineup of clothing, brand new everything, starting in the summer, people. So get ready, get your checkbooks ready, do whatever you got to do, because we will be back with the vengeance. But scale tape is a representation of that. Scale tape was just something, that continue to promote the brand moving forward. And gold tape, man, that was a play off of Raekwon's purple tape, which is one of the most like monumental albums ever in hip hop. As you guys know, I'm a fan of hip hop. I'm a student of hip hop. You know what I mean? So it was a play off that. I love that album. I love that album. I love Wu-Tang, period. But again, Gold Tape. I don't want to get too far off the subject. Gold Tape is my latest project, and like I said, I am really proud of that album. It's an absolute classic. Please go check it out. This week we have a few topics to get to, but in segueing off of my Gold Tape album, for those of you who may not be familiar with me, I'm a local artist out of Buffalo, New York. And nowadays, whenever you bring up Buffalo, New York, you think of the three guys who worked their ass off to get to where they are. That is Benny the Butcher, Conway the Machine, and West Side Gun. Those are three guys based out of Buffalo, New York, that, man, been monumental in Buffalo long before they got signed. And this past week, as faith would have it, this past week, it's been an ongoing. I'm not gonna say it's growing, but it's just one of those things where, like, a lot of people locally, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying this trying to play anybody, but a lot of people locally have been speaking on, oh, why hasn't he been signing any Buffalo artists? That's something that's been going on for years. That's something that talk that's been happening for years. And I'm not gonna sit up here in front and act like everybody is asking me about this, but enough people ask me about it, especially with me doing this platform of giving you my opinion on things that come up weekly. Enough people have asked me my take on it, since I am an artist based out of Buffalo, New York, and just would like to see what I have to say about it. Man, look, man, the first thing I would like to say, uh, nobody, man, woman, cat, dog, nobody should ever be entitled because of the next person's success. I don't give a damn who you are. I don't care if it's my brother, my sister, my child. You should never feel entitled. You should never have a sense of entitlement when it comes to the next person's success. You should never do that. Those three gentlemen, Westside Gun, Conway the Machine, and Benny the Butcher, man, them is three dudes who worked their ass off to get to where they at. And me being a fellow artist from Buffalo, New York, I know how hard it is to get any type of eyes to stay on you. You can get eyes on you, as we see now, we in 2025, you can do anything salacious, polarizing, dumb, and you can do anything to get eyes on you, but to have them stay on you, to have people paying attention to what you're doing every time you break out in the world and do something and decide to share it with the world, it's hard to keep eyes on you. So them are three dudes, man, that work their ass off, and they deserve to be where they at. They really do, because Buffalo is a city where it's trendy, but we be on our own trend a lot. You know what I'm saying? But it's very trendy. It was a time when everybody was doing music. Everybody was rapping. And those guys, particularly Benny, was a top dog in the town. When people moved off of rapping and started party promoting, Benny and them was still rapping they ass off, working they ass off, living in the studio. When people got off that and started doing collection agencies, they were rapping their ass off. You know what I mean? They were working their ass off, man. You know what I mean? Putting their music out, trying to get heard. You know what I mean? So I seen that. Me being in the music scene in Buffalo for, I ain't gonna say just as long, because they've been rapping long before me, but I've been rapping for a while, forever. And they were rapping before me. So I know, I seen it, I witnessed it, what it took for them boys to get on, man. And so, like I said, like, me personally, I'm proud of them dudes, man, because again, I know how hard it is. And them ain't just some dudes that just got lucky. Them dudes put that work in, and they put it in for years. God bless his soul, DJ Shay, man, who was my guy. Like, all them dudes, they deserve it. They deserve their accolades that they work so hard for. You know what I mean? And it's really unfair to say, oh, they didn't put the town on, this and that to the third. They don't owe us nothing, man. They don't. Don't get me wrong. Would it be dope if the entire city got on because of them? Yes. But they not required to do that. They are not required to do that, man. At all. You know what I mean? So, like I said, all three of them dudes, they did what they were supposed to do. From Westside Gunn creating a buzz, Westside Gunn and Conway creating a buzz, bringing Benny in, Benny signing his homies, and they rocking out like that. Like, they did what they were supposed to do. They looked out for one another, and they looking out for their team. That's something that's it. If you want to be talked about as a real dude, or like I like to call it, a genuine dude, just a stand-up individual, put your homies on. Give your homies an opportunity, a chance to make it. That's all they required to do. To give me a chance, or to give anybody else a chance strictly because you from the town, they don't have to do that. They don't. And while we are on the giving me a chance thing, I'ma tell you, bruh, I especially, it was something that like I said, this talk has been going on for a while, but it's something that has been reemerged through Facebook. You know what I mean? Of, oh, why Benny not putting y'all Buffalo rappers on? Me, for one, I can never subscribe to that, because I'm going to tell y'all something. Benny tried to mess with us multiple times, and we dropped the ball. We dropped the ball. He tried to mess with us multiple times. He tried to give us multiple opportunities to create something bigger than what we already have. And we dropped that ball. We took our position for granted. We wasn't ready for that opportunity. We didn't do what it took to capitalize off of that. We did. So when I hear those talks, like I said, I don't know anybody else's experience, man, but I know for 100 facts that he tried to mess with us. He tried to give us multiple opportunities. If y'all do the math, man, you go back to his first major video, Rubber Bands and Weight, and you look at that video, he has a Scale t-shirt on. We didn't pay him $1 for that. We didn't pay him $1 for that. And at the time he did it, we weren't even in existence for a year. We was 6 months in when that happened. And like I said, we not from his hood. We not childhood friends. But we cool because all of us, me, Larry Legend, and that whole team over there at BSF, you know what I mean? And we have a integral piece, somebody who I want to give a personal shout out to, my homeboy Josh, man, who just, he looked out for us. He looked out for us. He gave us his word he would. He told us what he was going to do for us, and he did it. He did it. Everybody played their part. Everybody did. Everybody did. But like I said, we didn't give that man a dime for that. Each and every time you ever seen him wearing Scale, he did that off the muscle. We didn't, that wasn't a financial transaction. That wasn't, oh, somebody owes somebody a favor. No. He did it because, again, we're familiar faces in the music scene. He tried to mess with us with music. He tried to give us an opportunity with clothing. So that's why I say, when I hear that, it's like, I don't know how fair that is, because I don't know how many people have a similar story to me and just won't say it or don't got the platform to. You know what I'm saying? And plus, on top of that, shit, not like the music that we creating in Buffalo. You know what I mean? Like, that dude don't have to put none of us on, bro. And let's address the elephant in the room. A lot of the town be hating on that dude, man. A lot. Y'all know who y'all are. I'm not about to sit here and call names, throw subliminal shots. Y'all know who y'all are. A lot of y'all, a lot of us, and y'all already know, I'm not included in that, but I am a Buffalo native and proud to be, and I am a fellow Buffalo artist. A lot of us hate on them dudes, man, for no reason whatsoever. You know what I mean? So a lot of us won't even post a new song he put out, but you want him to change your life or to help change your life, give you an opportunity to change your life. That don't seem to make sense to me at all. So like I said, man, me for one, I can never subscribe to, oh, why they ain't putting people on. I know for 100 facts, Benny, he tried to mess with us on multiple occasions, man. And it wasn't his fault why it didn't work. It was ours. So again, man, that dude did a lot for us that he didn't have to do. And to this day, I appreciate that. And it will never go unnoticed. Just like my supporters that support me on this platform, I will never forget what people did for me that they didn't have to do. And Benny is one of them dudes. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, shouts out to all three of them dudes, man. It's still people here that are proud of y'all, rooting for y'all. And just keep going, man. Keep going. And like I said, to all of us fellow artists who still trying to make it, still trying to get a deal, let's keep working towards that. So that way, when we get on, we can do what we criticizing him for. We can put on the city. Now let's see if we get on and we had that same attitude of we gonna put the city on. Let's see if we had that same attitude. You know what I mean? Because just like I don't spend nobody money, I don't tell nobody how to maneuver with their own success. I don't do that. And I will never feel entitled from the next person's success. I don't care who you are. So, that was the first thing I wanted to touch on, just because my love for my city. I love my city. I love my city. Yes, it snows here. Yes, it's cold as hell. Yes, it was 70 degrees 2 days ago, and it was snowing yesterday. Yes, we deal with a lot. Yes, but I love my city. I love my city. I love the people that created this confidence that I walk around with. From my family being raised the right way, with my mother and my father, my brother and my sister, who played the integral piece of my life. They played a really important role in my life. To my hood, downtown Buffalo, Jefferson Projects, Town Gardens. You know what I mean? You guys gave me the confidence that I walk around with today. If it wasn't for y'all, I wouldn't know how good I was musically, how good I am musically. I wouldn't even feel comfortable talking like this in front of a camera if it wasn't for y'all. You know what I'm saying? So everybody who I met here, everybody who helped raise me, helped build that sense of that integrity and morals, the ones who taught me how important that was for a man to have, I would never take for granted, man, what role y'all played in my life. And a lot of those people that played a role in my life, a lot of those people are from this very place in Buffalo, New York. So like I said, man, I love my city. I love my city. And for those of you who did ask the question of how I feel about that, Benny not putting people on, Like I said, man, let that man enjoy his success. Because again, well, I mean, technically nobody else is on from Buffalo, but who's to say it's his fault? Because it might be other people in the same position I'm in. Me and my man Legend was in. And we dropped the ball. We did. Ain't had nothing to do with them. It was us. We dropped that. We did that. We got to take responsibility for that. So I root for them dudes, all three of them. All three of them. They make me proud. Like, I love that because they're a representation of us. You know what I mean? And before they got on, I had stopped rapping. I had stopped. You know what I mean? I mean, you know, when you in love with music like I am, you never stop rapping. But what I mean when I say that, I stopped recording until I seen Westside Gunn and Conway in a picture with Eminem. You know what I mean? And I read that article when they signed the Shady. It's like, wow, like this can still happen. You know what I mean? So like I said, and who's to say, like I said, a person like, you know, all of us out there, we tend to work when we see the results. We don't like to work when nobody's looking. And that's something they mastered in. They mastered in that. So like I said, they deserve all the success that they have. And me, for one, I hope they get plenty more. Because their success does not mean none of our failures. We just got to understand that. So, you know, like I said, I just wanted to touch on that at the top of the show because my city is, you know, family, you know, and I love my town. I love my town. I love my city just like I love my family. So, you know, I wanted to make sure to touch on that and touch on it thoroughly. You know what I mean? So big shouts out to J-Rock. Big shouts out to City Boy, who showed me and my homie lots of love. Big shouts out to Benny, Conway, Westside Gunn. Keep doing y'all 1-2, y'all. Keep doing it, y'all. It's still a lot of us out here that's proud of y'all. You know what I mean? So you know, we touched on that, man. The second, to stay on hip hop for a minute, the Breakfast Club drama. For those of you who are not familiar with it, Breakfast Club is a radio show that is incredibly popular. First radio show I've known of outside of a Howard Stern that was on the radio on television. Like, their radio show was on television. You know, just an incredibly popular show. You know, hip hop based. And it is hosted by legends. DJ Envy, Charlemagne the God, and they have a new co-host, or not a co-host, Jess Hilarious, who, her name says it all. She's hilarious. Really good, really funny. Instagram, social media like presence was like huge. It helped her get that position that was once occupied by Angela Yee, who went on to get her own show. So what happened with that was Jess Hilarious got pregnant. So while she was out for maternity leave, they let her handpick who was to replace her. And it's a young lady that goes by the name of Lauren. I'm not familiar with her last name. I apologize, Lauren. I'm not trying to be disrespectful in no way. But I don't believe it was ever known her last name. She just goes by Lauren. So Jess Hilarious had handpicked her to replace her while she was gone. This girl, Lauren, while Jess Hilarious, this woman, Lauren, I'm sorry, while Jess was gone, did a magnificent job. A lot of people liked her. So you know what that means. Whenever, you already got one good person and another good person comes into the play, we put them against each other. So now when Jess Hilarious came back, she thought Lauren was supposed to it was supposed to be a temporary thing of, okay, we gonna ease her out, we gonna phase her out. But she stayed. She stayed on the radio show. They have this segment called Just with the Mess. And basically what it is, it's like another version of this, a quicker version of this. Just basically talking about the latest things that's been talked about throughout the day, though. See, I do this once a week. Just with the Mess, it was every day. You know what I mean? So, Just with the Mess was something that Jess Hilarious had brought to the Breakfast Club. You know what I mean? It's something she had long before she went on to the Breakfast Club. So she noticed as they were saying, introducing this, they had a whole introduction, it was a whole like breakdown, like damn near theme song of Just with the Mess. She wasn't actually doing the segment. The lady Lauren was doing it. The young lady Lauren was doing it. And, based on how she was introducing the topics, how she was reading and everything like that, people thought she was doing a better job than Jess was. You know what I mean? Which, to Jess's defense a little bit, I believe Just with the Mess, it wasn't meant to be professionally read and orchestrated in the right way. And I don't think it was for that. Just with the Mess was that. Like, Just with the Mess, like, she talking like a homegirl from the hood. You know what I mean? Like, that's just coming to you with the latest drama. You know what I'm saying? So, people like the way Lauren presented this segment. So now when Jess Hilarious had came back from maternity leave, she had instantly started feeling away. She didn't like her being on the show. She felt she was over talking a lot. I believe one show she had told the young woman Lauren to shut up, hush your mouth. I didn't see it. I didn't see a clip or episode of that. That was just something they were talking about. And we know happened. So as a result of that, Jess Hilarious had went on a live and, basically voiced her frustrations with the world. And then the next day, I give her a lot of credit. She came to work and she faced the music. She felt like none of them had her back. She admitted she didn't like Lauren at first. She felt she was over talking. Everything I just told you. You know what I mean? So the next day she went into work and she, stood on business. You know what I mean? And it was televised. It was live on the radio, which I give a lot of credit to the Breakfast Club, period. Not everybody is able to do that without someone catching feelings, keeping feelings, and reacting on those feelings. And they were able to get through it. You know what I mean? Rather if they all walked away disagreeing with each other or they walked away disagreeing with each other. They handled it about as professional and as best as you could. So, while she was on the radio, she was just saying like, Jess Hilarious was just saying like, yo, I've been feeling away. I've been feeling away. This is how long I've been feeling it. This is what I'm feeling. This is why I'm feeling it. And DJ Envy and Charlamagne the God, more so Charlamagne the God, it was just like, yo, man, stop paying attention to comments. And Jess Hilarious was just saying like, yo, yeah, I pay attention to the comments, but I agree with the comments. It's not like I was completely fine and I read the comments. Now I'm feeling away. No, I've always been feeling away. Me reading the comments, I'm agreeing with them. They're already saying they got the one up on me. They already agreeing. I'm already agreeing to what they're saying. You know what I mean? So they have voiced their opinion. They have voiced their frustrations with one another. Like I said, it was good radio. It was great radio. Things didn't get out of control, and things remained in one piece. I don't really have a take on that, just simply because I mean it's a radio show and all of them are involved in it, but those are two females that us put pit against each other. You know what I mean? And I'm not a woman, man, so I can't tell you how to feel. I can't tell you if you do feel a way, you supposed to hold it in until this moment or until the right time. That young lady just hilarious, man, just had a baby. I don't believe me or any other man out here can ever tell you what your body, what your hormones, what your thoughts go through after you have a life-changing moment like that. Even though it happens all the time, that's something that's not to be taken lightly. You know what I mean? I hear all the time about how women go through all type of things after having a baby. You know what I mean? So the way she handled it, again, I'm not here to say if it's right or wrong. You know what I mean? I'm not a female. I can't tell you how that young lady feel. I can't tell you how that young lady is supposed to respond off of the feelings she may have. You know what I mean? I don't know. Again, it was just it was very nice to see everybody can disagree with one another and still maintain a professional and entertaining show. One of the reasons why the Breakfast Club is one of the best, if you ask me. But again, just giving you the news on that. I don't have too much of a deep dive on it. Like I said, man, it's good to have Jess Hilarious back. I'm personally happy they still have Lauren on the show. But it most definitely seems like Jess Hilarious, like it's threatening her job. It seems like that's what it's giving off. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying, looking from the outside, and it seems like she feels a way because this young lady has been performing very well in her absence. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that Drew Bledsoe, Tom Brady thing. When Drew Bledsoe got hurt, Tom Brady came in and just never gave the job back. But with football, only one person can occupy that position of quarterback. With a radio host, you can have as many mics as you possibly choose to have. You know what I mean? So, like I said, big shouts out to all of them. All you guys are great. Hope you guys can continue to work together and can coexist in one room, under one sound, under one umbrella, which is the Breakfast Club. So as just big shouts out to all of them, man. Something else I wanted to touch on. Jamal Woolard, that's the kid who played Biggie in the Biggie movie. He talked about dating outside. It's better to date outside your race. Again, this is just something. He's a black man, so naturally, any black man says that, you bet your ass you're gonna be in some hot water. You know what I mean? I don't know. You just got to meet the right person. But again, I will say, in the defense of black men, a lot of times people just don't want to deal with the standard of a black woman, because predominantly black women are the most beautiful motherfuckers on the face of this earth. So y'all gonna get a lot of attention, and everything y'all do, even if another race does it more, because y'all the one doing it, y'all gonna get the most attention from it. So when you have women, it's a whole new, like, the dating scene right now is nuts. Like, they expect you to pay this and do that for them, and it's just like, again, I'm I'm out of that. I'm out of that. I don't want nothing to do with that. I don't want nothing to do with that conversation. But again, like we gonna talk real talk. It's like I remember having a conversation with a young lady a while back, and it was like, yo, you have to, if you want my attention, you have to buy me and my girls a drink. I mean, me for one, I'm always do that. You know what I mean? But I'm not doing it. The second it becomes like a requirement, that's where you lose me. See, that was always like a good gesture. I'm gonna buy you and I'm gonna buy your homegirls a drink. Well, the good gesture was buying you a drink. I would so call myself in my club days trying to differentiate myself from the next guy. I'm buying you and your whole crew a drink. You know what I mean? So like, but now it's required. See, before when I did it, it was like, okay, I like that. I like that. Now it's a requirement. Now I gotta pay your bills. I don't even know if I like you or not. I don't even know if I'm gonna like you. Why do I have to do anything for you? Now again, black women not the only ones that require shit to be done for them, but just like I told you, you guys are so, black women are so powerful and again, just beautiful. Like when you think of women, even to this day, the first group of people that you think, the first race that you think about in regards to women is black women. You know what I'm saying? So everything y'all do is gonna be, you know, it's gonna be magnified. But I wanna share something with you of why. Remember that list that went around of where not to take a woman on their first date? And basically all the first date places were on there, from bowling alley to picnic to the movies to, Red Lobster, Olive Garden, which has been played out. But, I'm going to show my age a little bit. Back when I was dating, that was a nice first date place. You know what I mean? Red Lobster. You might not have got Red Lobster on the first date. You know what I mean? But basically, it was like 30 things that were on this list of where not to take a woman for their first date. You want to know the race of the woman who created that list? Got another one for you. Everybody has seen this. We on our first date, we done eating. You order 2-3 more meals for your kids at home. The latest video I seen of that, this lady ordered 10 other meals, 10 extra meals on top of their 2 meals. Now, if you want to believe that was fake, I'm with you, because I don't know anybody in my life who have enough audacity on the first date to order, after the date and after y'all eat, you order 10 more meals and expect that person who you are on the first date with to pay for it. If y'all want to believe that's fake, I'm with you, because I don't know nobody who got that type of audacity. But I've been seeing videos for years of, we eat, we enjoy ourselves, we have a nice time, whatever, and then you order 3 or 4 more meals. And then I'm supposed to pay for it. We on our first date. You could have been horrible. I don't even know if I'ma like you. Why am I paying for you? Oh, me and my kids come as a package deal. What if I don't want the fucking package? I looked at the package, I stared at it long enough, and I had a long enough conversation with the package to realize I don't fucking want this package. Y'all want to guess the race of every single last young lady that was in those videos? Black women. And lastly, it was one girl who had a birthday dinner. This was fairly popular too. She had a birthday dinner and, she went out with her. It was like 16 friends. So including her, it was 17. And, she wanted this dude to come with him. So I guess the dude went. And when the bill came, she was expecting him to pay for her and all 16 of her friends. That shit is hilarious to me because I am out of the dating scene and have been for quite some time. So that shit funny to me, but you want to guess the race of the woman who did that? Black women. So yeah, it's dirty white women out here, dirty Puerto Ricans, Mexican, Middle Eastern, deceiving, malicious, trifling, all of that, all races. But it gets magnified when it's black women. So now with us black men, you can't be mad at us if we out here thinking, yo, dating outside our race is better for us. You can't really get mad at that. But I'm saying you can't really get mad at that knowing you will. But me personally, you can be green. If you dope, you look great in everything you wear, and we have chemistry, I'm in. I don't care what color you are. I'm in. You know what I mean? But I can't blame a person like Jamal Woolord for thinking that. But, advice to all the young men out there who are on the dating scene, don't go into any type of situation trying to handpick a race. Because you going to meet fucked up motherfuckers. I don't care what color they are. You know what I mean? Pay attention to the person. Pay attention to the person. It will answer a lot of questions that you don't even have to ask. So, there that is with that. Another thing I wanted to touch on, Mace saying he would visit Diddy in jail on Cameron's show. Well, him and Cameron's show, it is what it is. I'm not a fan of Mace. I think Mace is soft. And I used to love Mace. Part of the reason why I no longer like him is because he stopped rapping. Because he was so dope. But then when I found out why he stopped rapping, it was like, oh, you soft. Now, again, I've had my discussions. Oh, no, he ain't soft. He had to, get out of Harlem. And for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, unfortunately, I'm not going to divulge too much information on this platform because it was some real shit that went on in Harlem during Mace's time becoming a preacher and all of that. You know what I mean? So I'm not really going to get into that, but Mace let me down with that. So I always looked at, and then when he came back talking the shit he talking, he basically had problems with a guy from Harlem, and the guy from Harlem ran him. You say what you want. He ran him off. He got, they got up out. He got up out of there for whatever reason, whether it was that dude or just the situation. That I guess the dude he had problems with was a serious dude. So he ran to Atlanta, and he stayed in Atlanta until, the dude he had problems with, Pat, died. got killed. And then he came back. I guess he thought it was safe. And, started talking this shit again. And then left again when Cameron and Jim Jones and them was on his ass. But then got cool with Cam again, and now he's tough. And now he's talking about Diddy when Diddy is in a situation that he can't defend himself at this very moment. Not feeling sorry for Diddy at all. Just, again, as a man, you're not supposed to really do that. But hey, who's following integrity rules now? So I guess I don't know how it came up. He was just, yeah, I visit Diddy in jail, make sure he all right, this and that to the third. I took it as more so as he was saying it like a halfway joke. I could be wrong, but whatever. Again, I'm just giving you the news on that, hip-hop news. I don't have no deep dive on that. Mace, I am not a fan of you. I think you soft as shit, and you have to relax before you get punched in the mouth one day. So there you have it there. The last thing I wanted to touch on was Akademiks. Once again, talking about yesterday was the 1 year anniversary of the Like That verse, which shook up the hip hop world by Kendrick. Well, the song was by Future and Metro Boomin featuring Kendrick Lamar, but the verse that Kendrick Lamar had on there is the main reason why all of this Drake, J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, all of this stuff came out the woodworks. So yesterday made the 1 year anniversary of that. Congratulations, Kendrick, on a monumental year and some change. So, Akademiks had basically said Drake should retire from battling because, Drake thought that, Akademiks and Drake thought that rap battling was consisted of rap skill. It wasn't consisted of tossing out dirty laundry, putting out lies about each other. You know what I mean? And again, Akademiks, that's just another ploy to try to make people feel sorry for Drake. Because Drake was the first one. Your man fucking your wife, he got her pregnant, one of your kids not his, it's your manager's, and you beat your wife, and you Drake was the first one to do any of that. Like That was strictly about a skill. You know what I mean? First person shooter. I hope they came with 3 switches. That's a play on words on the song that J. Cole and Drake had, called First Person Shooter, where J. Cole referred to Drake, J. Cole, and Kendrick Lamar as the big 3, and that's when he iconically said, "Motherfuck the big 3, it's just big me." Bong. That was a play on words. Strictly rap. Strictly rap. For all the dogs getting buried, that's a K with all these 9s. He gonna see Pet Cemetery. A play on words musically. Nothing personal. Then Drake came with Push Up, which was a solid record, solid jab. Toss that punch out there, see what he gonna do, see his reaction. And then when Kendrick came with Euphoria, again, wasn't nothing personal in there. It wasn't until Drake came with Family Matters when he accused of all that shit. You beat your wife, did everything. None of which to be true. That's when Kendrick went on his tirade. So I don't understand how Drake thought it was only about rap skill when, one, Drake is a fan of hip hop. And if you paid attention to any fucking battle before that, every last one of them shits is personal. Every last one, from Jay-Z to Nas to 50 and fucking Ja Rule to, Eminem and whoever he had beef with, whether it be Benzino, Ja Rule, whether it be whomever he had problems, it got personal. It's personal. It's going to get personal. So if you any type of a student of hip hop, you would see that. And I think Drake is a student of hip hop, absolutely. It's just like I said, that's just another ploy to try to you know, get to get Drake with some sympathy points. You know what I mean? So that's about that's about it. That's about all I have for that. You know, again, I don't even see why we still talking about this years. It's almost like, Drake fans are trying to create angles to try to get Drake some sympathy points, or no, he really won because look, this really happened and that really didn't happen and this. Listen, man, he lost. He lost. And it's because of the continued actions that he's putting forward why the loss is keep getting talked about, and it is even bigger. There is nothing to hang your hat on losing to Kendrick Lamar in the battle. Nothing to hang your hat on. It's not like you were J. Cole and you apologized and went out completely soft and ruined his career. No. You put up a fight, and a good one. You just came out on the short end of the stick, with the short end of the stick. You know what I mean? I do, and just to let you guys know, I do have other topics that I'm choosing not to talk about. The Charleston White, I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about him at all. The Kanye West saga of him saying Jay-Z's kids is retarded or his son is retarded. That don't deserve no airplay on this platform. And the Big U Rolling 60s. Rolling 60s is well-known Crips out in California, based out of California, I should say. And they had got hit with a RICO recently, and Big U is at the top of that food chain. And so, that made the news, but that's ongoing. Don't really have too much information on it. You know what I mean? But it is some type of conspiracy going on around there about him having a hand in Nipsey Hussle's murder. Anybody who has ever paid attention to my platform know how I feel about Nipsey Hussle. I absolutely love that dude, and I'm still heartbroken he's gone. Like I told y'all before, murder, snitching allegations, rape allegations, or pedophilia, that's a lot to put on a man. And until I see at least enough proof to where I can speak on it and have some type of a relevant opinion about it, I'm just keep my mouth shut and wait things out. You know what I mean? Big U is somebody from afar I have respect for too. You know what I mean? Just a muscle in the city who is known for what he's known for, and that it is what it is. You know what I mean? But if he had anything to do with Nipsey Hussle's murder, I will feel drastically different about him. But again, that's all alleged. I'm not here to say if he did or if he didn't. I don't know enough about the situation to even speak on it. But I'm just bringing it up to you guys just to let you guys know I'm aware of everything that's going on. But just like I touched on in like my first 2 episodes of this platform, listen, man, I choose to talk about what I want to, because some things you just got to keep out of your life. Some things you just got to extract out your life. And when you got clowns like Charleston White, Kanye West, that when they just doing things for attention. Kanye West is more known for his tweets than anything. And notice I said tweets. You know what I mean? I know it's called X, but for reasons that I decide not to talk about as well, I'm gonna refer to them as tweets. You know what I mean? And people talk more about Kanye's tweets than his album he got coming out. They said that I heard that he just leaked his entire album that was supposed to come out in June. That shit ain't even talked about, and I'm happy as not. I'm happy as not. So, like I said, I'm aware of everything, but I choose to talk about what I want to, because people that are doing salacious things and ignorant things for attention, I'm not gonna help them with that, with their goal. Especially when I know that's what they're doing. You know what I mean? So we not gonna talk about that, people. So, with that being said, I'm gonna wrap up. This latest episode of Elephant in the Room, episode number 15. Before I get out of here, I want to send a million prayers up to my Uncle Mike. You know, family going through some trying times right now. But we going to get through this just like we always do. Shout out to my big cousin Skeeter Beans. Love you to death, bro. When I turn this camera off, I am actually on my way to the hospital soon as I press stop on this thing. So, and just be there for each other, just like you was always there for me, bro. So I want to just send a million prayers up to my Uncle Mike. I love you. Love my brother, my cousin, Skeeter Beans. I love you. I'll see you shortly. And I want to thank everybody out there that tuned in to this episode of Elephant in the Room, episode number 15. Again, you guys are the reason I'm continuing to go forward. You know what I mean? And I want to leave you guys on this note. Always do what makes sense to you. Always do what makes sense to you. Don't listen to, don't do things because you think that person gonna think it's cool. I'ma think it's fly. They gonna think it's dope. Fuck all that. Do what makes sense to you, because at the end of the day, you are the one that have to live with the decisions that you make. And again, I can promise you, as long as you make the decisions based on you and your life and your well-being and your integral compass, you can live with the results. I promise. I promise, people. Do what makes sense to you. That'll do it for this week's episode of Elephant in the Room, people. Thank you guys for your continued support, and I will see you next week for episode 16 of Elephant in the Room. Please go check out Gold Tape, my latest project, along with the two previous to that. This one's for you, Dad, and Scale Tape. Appreciate you guys for the time that you gave me. See you guys next week. Salute.